A school district of the future prepares lifelong learners to demonstrate mastery of 21st century competencies that will equip them for continuous success.
DeKalb County School District is a leader in K-12 and early childhood education and has developed a comprehensive master plan to ensure school improvements are made throughout the DCSD community.
Students can reach their fullest potential and excel when schools are well maintained and capital resources are up to date.
Whether it's state-of-the-art learning spaces, our 7 robotic programs, renovated and innovative schools, or technology devices for every child,
these resources and investments not only benefit the DCSD community, but also the taxpayers of DeKalb County.
A top priority for DCSD is supporting social and emotional skills of young learners and their families, and our Early Learning Center addresses the readiness gap.
Every 5 years, we assess DCSD schools and facilities, technology equipment, and examine construction to address overcrowding and to accommodate growth so that DCSD scholars can thrive. To achieve and excel, we provide technology at your fingertips with anytime, anywhere access, infrastructure enhancements, business system integration, and instructional tools to support top-of-the-line connectivity and cybersecurity, and a family impact hub that meets diverse families where they are.
So, how do we pay for these general improvements to impact student achievement and positively affect the DCSD community?
E-SPLOST is a 1-penny sales tax that allows school districts to fund their capital improvements. The voters of DeKalb County will be asked to extend the 1-penny sales tax for another 5 years. This education special purpose local option sales tax is critical to building our children's future and equipping our community for success.
So it is now 6:08 and our April meeting is now called to order. And review and approval of the agenda. Can't do anything, so that's going to have to be tabled. The next one is review and approval of the minutes for our March meeting. Has to be tabled. We're starting with item number 4A, report on the SPLOST items presented at the April 22 Board of Education meeting.
All right, there were, I think there were 4 items total. The first item was, it was a change order number 1 to Deluxe Athletics. This is for the design build services for group. Hold on just a moment. I meant to turn on my camera. There we go. So this is the design build services for Group B2 track and turf installation. The change order is to Deluxe Athletics for $301,220. It's for mass rock removal at Towers High School. When they were doing grading there, they found a large chunk of rock extending from the end zone out into the field and looping back into the end zone. So we're going to have to remove that. The next item was for a contractor services for a playground at Smoke Rise Elementary School. This goes to Playworks. It's for $100,976.60. The third item was a contract award to FH Passion, SN Nielsen and Associates. And this is for athletic field fence installation at Arabia Mountain, Cedar Grove, Chamblee, Clarkston, Columbia, Druid Hills Middle School, Dunwoody, Lakeside, Lithonia, Martin Luther King, Miller Grove, Ronald E. McNair, Southwest DeKalb, Stevenson, Stone Mountain, Towers, and Tucker High Schools. So this is fencing that would go around the new track and fields as an additional level of protection for that investment. And then the last item was what was approved was actually modified version of what was presented. This was the E-SPLOST 5 major program adjustment. And the projects that were approved to move forward were the design and construction of it's a modernization and potentially additions to the Cross Keys High School, the existing Cross Keys High School. That was an $80 million project designed for a new Sequoia Middle School and High School for $10 million budget, and then a design for a new Dresden Elementary School. And there wasn't actually any funds that were changing on that project. It had an existing project with a budget that was sufficient to cover the design fee. So it's just a change in scope there just for the design. The construction of both that and the Sequoia would be part of the E-SPLOST 6 projects. And that was all for the E-SPLOST items that were presented.
Okay, thanks, Richard. Are there any questions? Okay, so we're going to go back up to number 2 and 3. I see that we do have a quorum now. So review and approval of the April 27, 2022 meeting agenda. One correction, we will take out 9B. The CARES Fund program presentation has already been done in November, so we will not have that. Are there any other corrections to the agenda? All right, so hearing none, can we, by unanimous consent, if there are no objections, agree to the agenda as corrected? All right, so hearing none, the agenda is now approved as corrected. Review and approval of the minutes from the March 23rd, 2022 meeting. The meeting minutes have been distributed. Are there any corrections? All right, so hearing none, can we, by unanimous consent, agree to approve the meeting minutes as distributed for March 23rd, 2022? If there are no objections. All right, so hearing none. I'm sorry. Was there a question? All right, so hearing no objections, the March 23rd, 2022 meeting minutes as distributed are approved. We are now at 5, the contract award list update.
All right, took me a while to find the mouse cursor. So 2 of those items were really considered contract updates. The first one was the playground, even though that is a not a well, it's a E-SPLOST project, but wasn't a general contractor contract. It's an existing contract that we have with Playworks. So it was just a approval of a work order, really, is what that was. And then the other was a general contract with FH Passion, and that was the installation of the athletic field fencing. And that dollar amount was $782,000, and the budgeted value of the cost code, which would be the GC cost code, was $1,038,000. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Richard. Are there any questions in regards to the contract award list update? Okay, so moving right along to the review of the community feedback. Daniel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There were 2 emails that came through since the last meeting. One email was included a question about how much E-SPLOST brings in each month and who are the biggest contributors. The other email involved some questions about 1 or 2 project items listed under E-SPLOST. Both emails were forwarded to you, Madam Chair, and to Richard.
Okay, I don't remember receiving any emails.
I'll
Where were they
look
forwarded?
for them as well.
Yeah.
You said there were 2 emails, so I'll look for. Did you send those as separate emails, or should I be looking for one?
I sent them as separate emails.
Okay, I'll look for 2 emails from you. On
Well,
the,
they won't be from him, Richard. They'll be from the E-SPLOST.
from the E-SPLOST, okay,
Yeah,
Right, they were forwarded on April 13th.
okay,
okay, thank you.
all right.
Welcome.
Just to respond to the first one, I can easily respond to. In rough numbers, we get approximately $9 to $10 million a month out of E-SPLOST. As far as the second part of the question, the largest contributors, I'm not sure what's being requested there, but this is, of course, it's a penny sales tax. So anytime that anyone, including myself, and I live in Cobb County, but anytime I buy gas or buy lunch or go to Publix here in DeKalb County, a penny of that sales tax that's collected goes to the SPLOST fund. So it's I guess the contributors are anyone that's purchasing products here in DeKalb County. Any sales tax, there's a 1 penny that's collected for SPLOST. And then I'll get the email and provide a response for the other.
Thank you, Richard.
So quick question, Richard. Is there detail that DeKalb County has as far as, you know, where the largest amount of E-SPLOST funds are being contributed from?
I
Is
don't,
it something that the state would have?
I guess that's probably something the state would have. I know we have a spreadsheet that is or records it monthly, what we get in, but I don't know that it comes in a format of, you know, who or what part of the county or you know, how the funds are collected or not. That I'm not sure on.
Okay. All right, so moving right along to number 7, the MSR review.
Good evening, Kathy, committee. I'll try to share my screen.
Mel, do they not have you as a host? Do you have? Okay,
I'm okay now, I believe.
okay, awesome.
Make sure I'm sharing the correct screen. The system said someone had to release it for me to grab it, and I think I do have it now.
Yep, I see the MSR report.
Correct, thank you. We will jump to our abbreviated report in the interest of time. In terms of major achievements for the month, our cost performance ratios are in good order, and that's shown on MSR tables 8, 9, and 10A through 10H. In terms of procurement, one project was advertised for AE services. That was Henderson Mill Elementary School, major building system replacement that focused on roofing, plumbing, and HVAC components. One project was advertised for builder services. It's a general contractor in this case. That was the Nancy Creek facility, and that major building system replacement consists of an emphasis on HVAC, fire sprinkler system installation, and roofing is planned to be added. In terms of our status of our projects in construction, again, this is as of the end of the period March 31st. The Cedar Grove High School auditorium was 85% complete. Druid Hills High School accessibility improvements, 98%. And the good news is the exterior canopy is completed. Punch list is in progress. The Ashford Park roof replacement project is 75% complete at the end of March. Rocket Elementary roof replacement at 60%. Cab Alternative East Campus roof replacement at 95% complete. The Oak Grove Elementary roof replacement was 60% complete. And good news, the Winbrook Elementary roof replacement was 100% complete. In terms of our Group B turf and track replacement projects, the McNair High School track resurfacing is 85% complete, and that work did resume in April. Towers High School turf replacement, as Richard mentioned. A change order was queued up to the board for approval to remove that rock. And spoiler alert, the board did approve that change order in April. So we are organized to get started, restart with that work. At Chamblee High School, grading, mass grading for the new practice field started in mid-March. And at Lakeside High School, after working through the issues with access to the work site, you may recall it was conflicting with the location of portables that students had to access. Overcame that little hurdle, close cooperation with the school, and mass grading for that field started at the end of March. In terms of our ADA restroom upgrades, at Pine Ridge, at the end of March, plumbing and concrete slabs were complete, and the CMU walls were 90% complete. At Kelly Lake Elementary, the plumbing and concrete slabs were also complete, and CMU walls were scheduled to commence in early April. In terms of delays to the projects this period, Kathy, we added these notes to the executive summary due to the board action or specific board action relative to the E-SPLOST 5 major project adjustment list that Richard mentioned. Redan, Farrington, Salem Elementary, Redan Middle School, Farrington Elementary, Salem Elementary, along with Midvale, Rock Chapel, are technically on hold pending the outcome of the board's approval or decision relative to the E-SPLOST 5 major project adjustment. And as Richard mentioned, Dresden is planned for replacement. The project that was planned there, a major building system replacement focused on HVAC, is currently being reevaluated pending the plan to replace Dresden. There were no requests or basically claims by builders or architects, engineers in this period. No change orders were approved by the board.
Mel, can you hold on for 1 second, please?
Mhm.
Somebody, we need to, if you're not speaking, please mute yourselves because it's a little difficult to hear what Mel is presenting. Thank you.
In terms of status of our E-SPLOST 5 projects, we've got 13 completed in E-SPLOST 5, 2 from E-SPLOST 4 were completed in E-SPLOST 5, 16 in construction, and 28 are in the pipeline for construction, with 18 of those expected to launch this year. We do have some progress photos we can share quickly. Here is ADA restroom upgrades at Pine Ridge Elementary. There are CMU walls being installed. ADA restroom upgrades at Kelly Lake Elementary. Our Cedar Grove High School auditorium addition project is actually gaining some momentum towards completion. You can see the interior ductwork and electrical in place. Ductwork is insulated. Interior stairs in place. And we've made good progress on the exterior. Our plan, or the contractor's plan, hopefully is to be airtight by the end of this month, which would allow for finishes to start, turn on air and finishes to start internally. So that's good progress. That concludes my formal report. I'll be happy to take questions.
Hey, Kathy, I did have one thing I wanted to add right now when we were talking about the questions, and I was mentioning that there is a sheet that has the amount of revenue received. If the community would like to look at the last page, it's page D1 and I think D2 of the MSR each month. We actually have a sheet in there that shows what our funding commitments and expenditures are, and it shows the actual received each month. So you can see that, as I was saying, we're typically between $9 and $10 million a month, and then we do usually 2 to 3 times a year we'll jump up to 11 or $12 million a year. So yeah, that's getting close. Yeah, that was it, I think, right there, Mel. And those 2 months where we jump up to 11 to $12 million. And actually this year we were at 12.9 and 12.4. Is always August, the month before school start, and then during December. Sales tax typically are higher than our monthly average in those 2 months. So you can see all that. We have everything from March of 21 back to July of 17 when we first started showing the planned and the actual and cumulatives of what was received. And that was it.
Okay, thanks, Richard. Appreciate that. And thanks, Mel, for providing that information and also for showing the information on the MSR for the revenue or the funds collected. Are there any questions in regards to the MSR report? All right. Richard, are you going to bring the agenda back up? Thank you. Next on our agenda is the facilities maintenance program.
All right, so we're actually in a transition period right now, so I don't have the full numbers that I've shared in the past. So what I do have is the total SSC and new work orders since September 27th, which is when SSC left, what the total were, the total closed, and the work orders that are remaining open. Also want to note that all the original 3,884 work orders that were open when SSC left have been completed. But right now, since September 27th, we have had 6,526 work orders, including those 3,800. We have closed 5,964 of those, which give us 562 remaining that are open. One thing that we are working on, Kathy, which will go to a question you asked last month, we are working on a dashboard system that will be on our website, and that will allow you to see how many and what type of work orders there are at each school. So you'll be able to go to a particular school and drill down and see the work orders by category, not the individual work orders, but the work orders by category there to know, how many are roof, how many are carpentry, etc. So that is something that we're working on, but it's still just a few months away because there have been some glitches in the system and trying to get that to provide reports properly so that we can activate this work order dashboard. And this is in our ERP system, Munis. So we're beginning to put the information in there now so that it will be able to populate these dashboards. But to go over those numbers again, the total work orders are 6,526. The work orders that have been closed are 5,964, leaving 562 work orders remaining over the 7 regions. Any questions?
Hey, Richard, when these new buildings open, is a preventive maintenance program for work orders automatically created in that system, or is it just for reactive work?
That's a very good question. I think right now what we're just logging in are the, I don't like to use the word reactive, but that's probably the, the ones that come up, when something actually goes down, and not the kind of the planned preventative maintenance ones. That is something that we're working towards, having a group that can maintain preventative maintenance items so that these work orders don't pop up as a surprise in the future, or we can greatly reduce number of work orders, that the corrective work orders, that's the term I was looking for. The corrective work orders, we reduce the number of those that pop up.
Okay, thank you.
Any others?
Okay, great question, Derek. Thank you so much for that. And I hope everybody understands why the facilities maintenance program is so important to the E-SPLOST. We don't want to put in these capital improvements and not have a way to make sure that if something is malfunctioning, that we cannot get it fixed. And we end up spending more money to replace it. So that's why the facilities maintenance program is extremely important to E-SPLOST. We're down now to new business. Notification of upcoming community meetings and other events.
We don't have any SPLOST related that are planned right now. We will send out a notice if something comes up, but currently in checking with Mr. Williams and others, there are no upcoming public meetings that are scheduled.
Okay, so quick question. I got an invitation to a ribbon cutting for Indian Creek Elementary next
That
Tuesday.
you are right. That is one that should have been on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So can we make sure that the committee members do receive that information?
Yes.
So if they are available to attend, that they can.
I don't know if Miss Lemon is still on as one of the guests or not. But if she could text me and let me know, confirm the time. Typically, these are at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I thought that was a little odd, but
That is
it's at 1.
All right, so 1 o'clock on Tuesday, and we'll get that to everyone.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Next is unfinished business, the candidates for the open positions.
Okay, so I sent you the last, when we spoke this morning, I sent you the last email that we had on that. We do have candidates selected for 2 positions. We still need to look at one additional region to make sure that we have enough candidates spread around, and I can get with you later in the week on that and discuss that with you.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
And we'll have the new candidates attend the new members. We'll have them attend the next meeting.
Okay, have they been contacted?
Not yet. We'll notify them by the end of this week.
Okay, great. And Daniel, what we normally do is just we'll meet with them prior to our May meeting, like the hour before, so that we can kind of just introduce ourselves as the leadership team and then answer any questions that they may have, and then we'll go into our May meeting.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. We're moving right into number 11, collection of recommendations from the meeting and follow-up matters for our next meeting. I don't think that we have any, unless I misheard.
I would say the only thing would be the follow-up on the email.
Yeah, okay. On the upcoming community meetings?
And that as well, yes.
Okay. Alrighty. Now we'll move right into announcements. 12A. Just as a reminder to all our committee members, we do have an attendance requirement in our bylaws that you attend as many meetings as you can, but we do understand that that you do have personal commitments and you do have professional commitments as well. But we are keeping attendance, and we're trying to keep at a minimum of, I can't remember what the bylaws say, and I don't have them in front of me. 80% for the entire committee. And we are right at 80% right now. So those who are at the maximum number have been contacted, and they are well aware of that they do have, you know, an issue, and we are watching the issue. And we'd like to work with everybody because we don't want to get into a position of having to remove any of our committee members, because we go through so much effort to bring you on that, you know, we don't want to waste that time. But we all have made a commitment to make these monthly meetings, and they're actually easier now due to COVID because they're online, so you can take them from the comforts of your home or wherever you are. You don't have to physically go into a meeting room. So we just ask that, and we are at, I mean, 8 is our quorum, and we are right at 8. So I ask that, you know, if you can attend the meetings, please do. If you have any extenuating circumstances, please let us know so that we are aware of what's going on. And we're not trying to be nosy, not trying to get in anyone's business, but just making sure that we can do the business of our committee. If anybody has any questions, you know, feel free to email me or call me. I'm always available, or text. Okay, so here are no questions. Moving right along to our other announcement, which is not on the agenda. I know that everyone has received and seen the news reports that Mrs. Watson Harris is no longer our superintendent. We don't have any information, any additional information about that. So just wanted to acknowledge that that has happened, and you know, the information that is out there to the public, that's available to the public, is everything that we have. Our new interim superintendent is Dr. Tinsley.
Yes, Vasan Tinsley.
Yeah, I didn't know how to pronounce her first name, so
Yeah.
hopefully she will be available to attend our next meeting. It is on the superintendent's calendar so that they can attend if they are available. Does anyone have any questions? All right, so hearing none, our next meeting is May 25th. I think that is not, yeah. The holiday is on the 30th, so we're right before the holiday. So hopefully everyone can attend. Please make sure that you put that on your calendars. One quick question for the committee members. Does anyone have any issues or any hesitation about us returning back to an in-person meeting?
I do not, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Daniel.
I do not.
Thank you, Kimberly.
I do not.
Thank you, is it Latrevis?
Levitris.
Levitris, I'm sorry, thank you. Sabrina, Derek, Lisa,
No,
Not
I don't
here.
have,
Robert.
I don't have issue.
Okay, so I actually have an issue, but I will work through that. We'll try to work with Richard and Monica to see where we can, when we can start a face-to-face meeting again. So we will let everyone know. So it may not be next month, but we can try to shoot for June. Is everyone good with that?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All righty. All right, so hearing nothing else, it is now 6:40 and our May, I'm sorry, move this forward. Our April meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Please
All right.
continue to be safe, and we will see you next month.